So what's up, man? Thanks for coming out and just hanging out with me. I haven't seen you in like 20 years.
It's been quite,
A long time.
yeah, like it was yesterday though, in my mind.
So, just for everybody, what's your name?
Chris Sheehy.
Chris Sheehy. And just to let everyone know, I've grown up with you in high school, middle school.
Yeah, I think we first started. Yeah, you went to Paulsville Middle School.
Yeah, Paulsville Middle
We were
School.
there, and I don't even know. It might have been grade school even. So
Yeah,
it's hard for me to remember that far.
I know things go by so fast and we take so much for granted. So what kind of things have you done in the past for work? Like,
I've done so much, like anywhere from worked in grocery stores, probably everywhere you can, and worked painting, construction, mostly painting, and mostly, just odds and ends stuff.
freelance stuff. What are some things you're kind of passionate about? I know you have work you have to do to pay the bills, but is there something besides the work that you're kind of passionate about that you like to do? Or
Um, now
yeah,
now is it's changed a lot for me in the last couple of years. I'm really passionate about my children.
oh nice.
As far as work though,
Yeah,
I do whatever I can to keep me busy. I like working with wood. That's what I'm most happy with.
like carving.
Yeah, not really carving, just really anything with wood. I've done a lot of cabinetry,
Oh wow.
and when I painted, I always like to work with the wood, and it just makes me happy whenever I'm around.
That actually leads me to the next question. Like, I know you said wood makes you happy.
Woods.
What other things make you happy?
I like to spend time with my children, and I really like to go out and see nature as much as I can, and a lot of things that really I looked over in the past now that
Taken for granted.
yeah, and it's like brand new.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like you look at things at a different perspective now, and you appreciate its intricate details.
And a lot of things I took for granted, before I got MS. That maybe who knows if I would still be taking that route,
Yeah.
or because MS has changed me.
So that leads me to my next question. I know you've been battling MS for a little while now. How long have you been dealing with that?
Well, I got diagnosed in 2004,
Whoa, that's a long time ago.
and it's ran its course a few times, and about every year I have to go take an injection of steroids when I have a flare, because that's about the time I have a flare is around a year.
Okay.
So just a little bit of numbness in my left foot now, but when I have a flare, it's definitely a lot worse. It's takes me out.
Takes you out. What is, like, for the people that don't know, what is MS?
I don't have any idea. I know it causes lesions in my head, on my spinal cord, and I know it's incurable. So.
Oh wow. So it's just like lesions as in cuts, right?
that's what I imagine. Cuts, then scar tissue.
That's crazy.
I try not to learn too much about it.
Wow.
Because I've seen a couple people that I just can't.
You don't want to see yourself.
I don't want to see. It's hard for me. That's what it is. It's just hard.
Yeah.
That's all.
I understand. How do you stay positive under circumstances like this? How do you stay positive?
Well, I don't want my kids to remember something that I did. Something that I said or did in a bad way as something that they remember. I want them to remember things that are good.
Yeah.
So I try to keep myself positive, and knowing that I'm a fighter and I'm gonna fight to the end.
That's awesome. What gives you strength? Are you spiritual?
I'm definitely spiritual. I've been in Native American church for years, and I sweat, often as I can, and it's been a while since I been to church meeting or something of that that big.
This is kind of a tougher question. Everyone has a different view on this, but I want to know what your meaning of life is. We have such a short time on this planet, and I want to know what your meaning of life is.
Well, I can say that you keep striving for better, and you don't go backwards. There's no sense in going backwards. You learn from your mistakes, learn from the past mistakes and move forward. I'm not sure if the meaning of life is the same way, but I've kind of always knew, that I needed to, not follow the system that was in place for me. It's harder when you don't have much support, and then you feel like you want to, I felt like, the world, I could do whatever I wanted to. And
So that's something that we're still trying to figure out.
yeah,
I asked this to everybody I interview, the meaning of life, because everyone has a different view on it. And when it comes down to what I've noticed is there's a commonality, and the commonality is sharing knowledge, wisdom. Like you want to share with your children your experience of how to be strong through tough times. And they'll look at you with respect. To say like able-bodied people are doing less than people that are disabled. You're probably doing more than able-bodied people right now. Just since you have so much drive to overcompensate for your disease. But do you have any set goals for the near future? I know you have MS, but it's good to plan ahead, just to have something to look forward to.
I plan on trying to live my life in the most positive way I can, and not look at so much negativity in my life. just, it's a different fight. You know, I'm on a different fight than I could have dreamed of.
Yeah.
And I'm just,
That's really cool that you said that. Because looking at the positive is the best way to look at something. Like, if you focus on all the negative shit in the world, that shit's gonna manifest. But if you think about all the things you want,
yeah.
like that car you're sitting on, that's a manifest, like
Yeah.
something you want. So if you just think of only the good things, like the positive things, that shit will appear.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm pretty easy to please too.
yeah.
You know, easily entertained, I'd say. You know, such little things now that you think of little things, but they're the biggest things.
Yeah. You
So,
know,
huh?
little things that do mean a lot.
Yes. Yeah, they're just the little things.
Yeah.
The bare, you scrape it down to just the bare necessities, you know, and you're gonna live a good life.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like having too much, like having more money just creates more problems. And it doesn't really make you happy. Sometimes keeping it simple. Like
Yeah,
this
it
property.
could buy you something special,
Yeah.
but in the long run, I don't think you really need it. You know,
Yeah.
some of the things
Yeah.
you could use the next best thing.
Yeah. So, what advice? I know you're battling a bunch of stuff. You have a whole. You're like 44 now, right?
I think so. 44 or 43.
You still
43.
you still look young, but a lot of these kids growing up now. They think they know everything, like we did when we were younger, and we had to learn the hard way, and they won't take any advice from any of us. But if you were to give advice to a young adult growing up watching this, what advice would you give them?
I would still say follow your heart, you know, and you, it's like that dream you'd always like to say is just a dream, you know. I'd say your heart will tell you exactly what you should do, and if you don't trust it, that's a choice you're making. And throughout every time you think about it, you're making that choice.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah, you did. What is something that you wish you knew when you were younger that you know now?
I wish that I knew I just wish I knew all the lies that I've been told.
Oh wow, Jesus. That's deep, man. Like we'll leave it at that. That's deep. That's a good one.
I don't know. I just have to say too that I feel like a lot of things in my life that I was told were a lie.
Really.
And thinking about it now, it's like that's what I want.
Whoa, that's hard. That's a hard realization.
Yeah. Well, I'd want other kids to know,
Yeah.
you know, because you know it starts out so small and innocent, and then it's a story that's been passed down that keeps on it keeps on you're lying.
Because,
The story is a lie. And I know that everybody, you know, everybody's, you know, not in on it, and some people don't know,
yeah.
you know,
about it.
but it's true.
Anything I left out you want to share about yourself? Anything I left out that say?
Well, I just want to, you know, thank you for being my friend, because, you know, I don't, sometimes I can just bottle up, you know, and just go through the motions, you know, and that's where, you know, I've never been that person.
Yeah.
I never have been, and so I feel my old spirit, you know. I feel it inside of me, and I just like to, you know, to take advantage of every last moment I can.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking this interview. That's awesome, dude.
I'm not a very great interview.